More than 2,300 years ago, the Greek philosopher Plato wrote about a powerful empire that vanished beneath the waves in a single day and night. He called it Atlantis, a utopia that became arrogant, then was destroyed by the gods. For centuries, scholars dismissed it as fiction. But some believe the story holds a kernel of truth. That somewhere under the ocean, or buried in the desert, the ruins of Atlantis still wait to be found. Today, we separate fact from fantasy. What did Plato really say? Where have explorers searched? And could Atlantis be more than a myth? Plato wrote two dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, around 360 BCE. He claimed the story came from his ancestor, Solon, who heard it from Egyptian priests at Sais. According to them, 9,000 years before Solon's time, there was a great island beyond the Pillars of Hercules, the Strait of Gibraltar, larger than Libya and Asia combined. This island was ruled by the god Poseidon. He had 5 sets of twin sons. The eldest, Atlas, became the first king and gave Atlantis its name. The capital was a marble, concentric rings of water and land, connected by bridges and canals. At the center stood a palace adorned with gold, silver, and orichalcum, a mysterious red metal. The city was wealthy, powerful, and technologically advanced. For generations, the Atlanteans lived virtuously. But as the divine blood diluted, they became greedy and imperialistic. They invaded Europe and Asia. Only Athens, Plato said, stood against them. Then, the gods decided to punish Atlantis. Zeus gathered the gods and pronounced judgment. In a single day and night, earthquakes and floods swallowed the island. Atlantis sank into the sea. The mud prevented travel for centuries. Plato ends the story abruptly. The text cuts off. We never hear Zeus's full speech. Some say Plato died before finishing. Others claim the final pages were lost. But the mystery was born. Where could Atlantis be? Many have searched. Here are the top candidates. 1. Santorini, Thera, Greece. Around 600 BCE, a massive volcanic eruption destroyed the Minoan civilization on Santorini and Crete. The tsunami could have inspired the flood story, but Plato's date is 9,000 years earlier. Far too old. Some argue he misread Egyptian numerals, 9,000 versus 900. 2. The Richat structure, Mauritania. Called the Eye of the Sahara, this circular geological formation is 45 km across. Some propose it matches Plato's concentric rings, but it's in the desert, not the ocean, though sea levels have changed. And it's natural, not man-made. 3. Doggerland, North Sea. A submerged landmass that connected Britain to Europe, flooded by rising sea levels around 6,500 BCE. This matches a real catastrophe. But again, the date is off by thousands of years. 4. Tartessos, Spain. A rich, advanced Bronze Age culture in southern Spain that vanished suddenly. Some think Plato conflated its fall with Atlantis. But Tartessos was not an island beyond the Pillars, it was just beyond them, near modern Cadiz. 5. Antarctica. Some fringe theories claim Atlantis is under the ice. No evidence supports this. Most archaeologists agree. Atlantis, as Plato described it, never existed. The story is likely a philosophical allegory. Plato was warning his fellow Greeks about the dangers of hubris, imperialism, and moral decay. The perfect society became corrupt. and was destroyed. A lesson for Athens, which had just lost the Peloponnesian War. But why does the story endure? Because it speaks to a deep human fear that our own civilization might fall, that arrogance and greed could lead to destruction. We see Atlantis as a warning from the past, and also as a promise that somewhere lost knowledge and advanced technology might still be buried, waiting to be rediscovered. Atlantis remains a mystery without a solution, but perhaps that's the point. It invites us to search, to question, to imagine. The real treasure is not the lost city, it's the journey itself. If you enjoyed this exploration,